I knew it.
situation, and honestly,
Because it was
they were
taking
just as
so long, it
confused as
wasn't
I
gonna
was. The
claim. So I
person
had to
I talked
restart
to
my
on the
PlayStation.
phone
Come on, we
was
gotta
just a
hurry.
stump, but he
We gotta
agreed
hurry,
with
we
me
gotta
that at a
hurry.
minimum, they
We
did
gotta
need to
go, go,
do a
go.
welfare
Go,
check.
go, go.
I've had experiences with welfare checks before, and I had a nagging
X.
feeling that something just wouldn't go
Okay,
right.
okay,
Someone
okay, okay,
private
okay,
messaged me
okay,
a
okay, okay,
priority
okay,
line
okay,
for
okay,
my
okay,
state's
okay, okay, okay,
CPS
okay, okay.
hotline. I got someone on the phone right away. They mentioned that trafficking could be going on and that she was advertising the kid on Facebook. There was a public post here too, people. They acted with a quickness. I gave them all the information I had on Mary and Tony and all the information I had from Mary about Tony's adoption. The person I
Did you
spoke to
just
right
mess up?
away said that she suspected that the adoption might not even be legal. I was floored. I emailed all the screenshots I had to the person I spoke
I
with and asked for a
missed.
follow-up if that was at all possible. I said that myself and my boyfriend were willing to take Tony on a temporary basis if necessary, but the CPS representative said that that likely wasn't possible. Then the
Let's
waiting game
go.
began. Last night was probably the most
Prestige
stressful night I've
5.
ever had. Hell, at one
Remember when
point, I
Prestige
was
actually
ready to drive out
mattered?
to Mary's house myself, but was stopped by my boyfriend. It was tough. The cops followed up with us at approximately 2 a.m. Note that I haven't heard from CPS. The officer I spoke with was very cautious and limited in what he said, but he told me that CPS arrived at the home shortly after he did. In not so many words, he implied that Mary had been talking to someone about meeting Tony the very next day, and that CPS's suspicions were confirmed. Tony's adoption was not legal. Tony was rehome to Mary and her husband from another state, where placement needs to be approved by a judge. He didn't elaborate further except to say that the pictures came to light and all of the children.
Come on, we gotta find a match. It's 9:08. We only have 52 minutes.
Said it was a long time. I was asked to drop off all emails and printouts to the station in the morning, and I agreed. My boyfriend and I wanted to make doubly sure that all of our bases were checked, so I called our local FBI office, who said they lacked jurisdiction in the matter but would be writing up a complaint and referring the issue to the State Department. We called the Ukrainian embassy and made a detailed complaint, and I included the contact information I had for the officer from the department. That's when it really hit the fan. The moment I went into work to print out the email. Our company is pretty small, and the company owner, I'll call her Big Ange because of her resemblance to the mob wives lady, she had gotten wind of Mary's email. Big Ange was furious and waiting at Mary's desk to see if she would show up for work. My friend reported that Big Ange waited from 7:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and then Mary came to work with a sob story about how her
I'm also gonna be
kids
watching
Mary wanted time off
Stanley
from work
movie
to clear her
stream today.
name and devote herself to
So
reclaiming
I'm
her
gonna go to
family from this
Twitch while this is
misunderstanding. I
loading.
wasn't there to witness this, but Big Ange, who
He's
has
gonna be
6
going
kids
live at like
herself,
10,
apparently
right?
ripped Mary a new one.
Which is
Mary
gonna,
has
if he
been
does, that's
dismissed,
gonna be
and
bad
rumor
because
has it that Big Ange
that's what
may
I
or may not
go
know
to.
how to claim unemployment. My head is honestly still
Cool.
spinning from everything that has happened. The past 24
Yeah.
hours have been insanity. I am so
Stanley
grateful that the system worked
MOV.
as quickly as it did. I only hope there's a
Stanley
long-term solution to this
MOV.
problem and that Mary doesn't get to reclaim her kids. My heart is breaking for
10:30.
Tony and the other kids right now.
Or
I
no,
don't know what is
2:30.
happening in
10:30 to
Mary's house.
2:30.
They may
Okay.
never remove that night, but I'm going to
And
sleep
then
better
he's gonna
knowing
be
that
doing
they
a
aren't
sleep
recycle Mary and her
stream.
husband. At least not for a while. What the future holds for Tony and the other kids, especially because Tony's adoption was found
Saturday.
illegal, makes me sick.
Sweet.
I think that is the biggest question in the
Alright,
short
well,
term. What is
February's
it that they
almost
found
over.
the kids to give you away? We already know that, as the OP describes here, Mary's house is disgusting, so it could be something as simple as
What
that.
the
Mom
f-
walked in and said, "These are unlivable
What was
existences,"
that?
and took all of them out of there. Or maybe it was something much darker. We really don't know. I'm sure a lot of you guys have theories on
Bro
what it
is
could be. So
dodging. Bro's some master dodger.
this is just a strange
Shoo,
situation.
shoo,
I've never
shoo.
heard of somebody adopting a kid, not fostering
Master
them,
dodge.
adopting them.
Master.
I'm sure this does
Bro's
happen,
got full
but it
dodge
probably doesn't
build. What
happen
the
on
fuck?
Facebook. It probably happens through some sort of official means where you're not just handing them off to a random person on your Facebook. How could that have even worked anyway? Even if they did say yes, I doubt it's like sending over a pink slip to a car and saying, "Okay, you own this car now. You
I
own
think
this
we might at
person
least get
now."
one
There's
more
got to be a
token.
lot more red tape than that. But maybe she was just waiting until the
The
end of the day
stream.
and it all
I'll have to
fade away
continue.
and then everything that happened
At
didn't matter.
like
It's just such a weird
12,
thought process. But
11:30.
leave
I
a
don't
link to the
know.
situation down
Because
below.
my
And
classes
what
are usually
advice
like
would you offer?
more than an hour
When you
long.
subscribe, make sure to hit the
So,
bell to turn on notifications. To finish listening to all the stories in this
great.
series, use the playlist at the top of the description. And next time you live stream, music, search for
My game's also gonna be pretty laggy because
Spotify or whatever music platform you use.
Apex
Copyright free
update.
music to use
I'm
for
gonna
your
pause it
stream.
for the
It's
stream.
free. Cream of the stream.
I'll start
Anyway,
installing it
thanks a lot for
later.
listening. We'll see you guys next time.
Where? Oh, okay. Let's go. Okie dokie.
My evil school principal steals money from our school that is supposed to be used to fund our computers.
I hit him.
And puts that money
Tap
in his own
twice.
pocket instead. My dad
Oh God!
find a way to save the school.
I'm tapping all these guys.
To get the computers working. The evil principal announces that his son
Marked
saved
an
the school and
SMG.
is awarded a scholarship. Then
Thank
the son
you.
breaks into my locker, steals my $2,500 laptop, and deletes all the camera footage evidence. I was at my breaking point. They wasted my spring break, stole my laptop.
I'm not done.
Credit from me.
I will survive. I will prevail.
The lives of everyone involved. I found a way to get the footage, prove the principal had been stealing money, and
Where?
fought to get the scholarship that was rightfully mine. Here's how I got my revenge. Subscribe to the Jerk on YouTube and hit the bell
I'm downed. Oh no, I'm giving up. I'm not wanting to die.
This guy never messed with me.
Oh God.
These people have gone great lengths.
There's 2 people left on our team. This is not good because they are only the person that can. Uh-oh. There's only 1 person left on our team, which is bad because he's our only person that we can rely on. So that's not good because you might die.
Here's the backstory.
Okay.
2004, I attended a high school. They cut costs on everything, and I mean everything but teacher wages. Only way to keep them. It was an alternative school. My father is in IT, information technology.
No!
Computers all my life. This was a known fact. I constantly break into the school computers just to play.
No!
Nobody cared, and the computer lab teacher loved me because I'd constantly be repairing for her. Such a sweet lady. Anyway, our school had about 200 computers, and they all sucked. Not a single one was good. Well, there was one that I upgraded with my own parts to play games. Answer evil principal and his evil kid. Me and Miss B. Evil principal was a cheap man and a jerk. He'd get me to repair electronics for him and not even pay or give me extra credit. The evil kid thought he was good at running computers. He just knew how to format. That's his solution to everything. The CPU running slow format. So the school did well
when I'm
in the
13.
statewide test. I'm talking no student got below a 90. And our state is stupid. So we got a huge grant to upgrade our computers. Now, being a cheap man, our teacher uses a sleazy computer shop and has them ordered. I offered to help, but the evil kid was already on the job. They ordered 250 new CPUs, and they are pretty decent. And the evil principal pockets the rest of the money from the fund. This comes up later. So the 250 CPUs are delivered, and Mrs. B and I get to work. Evil principal and the evil kid and their swarm go off for a family vacation as it's spring break. We give up our spring break because he threatens to fire Mrs. B if anything goes wrong. So after 50 CPUs, we were 2 days in. The cheap jerk cut the power to everything that wasn't important. I get to the front office to take a break and decide to boot up one of these bad boys because the secretary still worked and I could start data transferring. What I come to find out is that none of these have the operating system installed on them. That's right, no keys, no operating system, nothing. The cheap jerk elected not to get an operating system because it saved him $100 per machine. That stupid evil jerk. I run to Mrs. B and the fact that I was running meant that she knew something was up. And I was running like a kid. Mrs. B said, "Oh God, what?" I said, "The evil principal didn't buy the operating system keys."
Don't struggle.
She was dumbfounded. Got up.
Oh, I got it. Nice. I gotta make sure that it's not my. Okay, yeah, it's my headset controller mic. Thank goodness, because that would have been bad if it wasn't.
But I caught the tail end. The evil principal doesn't see this as an emergency. He says, "I'm with my family." Mrs. B says, "Sir, this isn't an emergency. We need the keys." The evil principal says, "No money for keys, Mrs. B. And no computers. You got yourself 250 paperweights." Well, that sounds like a...
Please! Oh no! No! Please!
Running computers, or I'll be fired. Computer teacher by Monday. Click. Oh, I was pissed.
Oh no!
He cried. So I
No, don't tell me he died. Oh!
He said he'd be right We set up, and my dad and his 3 IT
We're good. We're okay. We're fine.
They had Brewskis that brought the party to
We
school.
won. They may have won the battle,
doing a ton
but
of
we
free work
won.
as they were on vacation,
What?
and we were gonna be
It
here for
doesn't make
days. We had
sense.
30 discs of
They may have
operating
killed me
systems
once,
for my father's
but
corporate
my
team.
teammate
His work gave him one for
had
whole
my
years, and he was ready
back.
to help. So 3 days later, we had 250 computers set up, wired the whole school, wired network internet, updated all the school software, and installed everything. Brewskis were drunk, and we camped in the school. We even watched movies off a projector.
Let's go get it.
Blast.
Let's go
The
get
next
our
Monday,
load
everyone
out
came back
drop.
from vacation to see shiny new computers. We spent the next 2 days assigning logins to the staff and students.
Where is he pointed to?
Using new systems. Mrs. B was hailed as a hero by staff, and everyone knew that I helped. But now, the betrayal. You see, Mrs. B's deeds didn't go unnoticed. She was offered a fancy new job.
I'm finishing you. Goodbye. Did you see how off that was? That was kind of off-putting.
Entitled principal let her go with no shade. 2 weeks before she left, she wrote a letter for
Got FSS as well. He had the Oni Revenger, Man of Taste. Never mind, a man of garbage. Help! Help! Caution tape again? Same person. Well, different person. Same thing. Oh no! No! Oh! We're good. We're fine. Everything is fine.
It was cool, I didn't care. They get down the list and then the story.
Got it.
How a teacher and a student gave up their vacation. How they rescued the school from an ordering error, lol. And how they wished the teacher was there to honor her, but didn't honor the student in her place. I grinned that I was being praised by the man who I hated most. The evil principal said, "Please, a round of applause to evil kid, my son, for saving the school's computers. Your actions have not gone unnoticed, as you've now gotten a full scholarship to the tech school." I did not hear the rest, as my world went gray. My friend held me back as to not charge the stage. I was literally going to end those MFs with my bare hands. I do remember the booing. I left for the day. I was livid. They just took credit for my work, stole my scholarship, treated Mrs. B poorly, and thought that I would take it. Revenge wasn't enough. No, I was going to destroy them. Finally, the revenge. Weeks had passed by. I had exactly 1 month to do this with a group of 8 who knew the whole story, and we were literally the 8 smartest students. The Revenge Council was formed. We never met on school grounds, never at the same place twice, followed a strict set of rules, and formed our plan. They only helped me form the plan. I did the legwork. So, phase 1. Phase 1 was to destroy the evil
Jump scare.
kid. So I spoke with the super, and I told him the story, how I was being wrong. He said I would need proof. That was
Oh, I thought I saw a person on the stairs. Those were just bullets rolling down the stairs. Idiot.
He said he'd also look into it. I needed him to describe the evil principal. Now, I didn't have access
Oh
to Mrs. B did.
no! Oh no! Oh no! No! Oh no!
And fix it, but I mentioned I needed to make sure
I
this never
have
happened
guns.
again. Oh, that laugh of hers was so adorable.
I don't know what guns I got. I hope I got good ones, but... Oh no! Please, I just got back! Ah!
Cameras are now under my control. Now remember the locker thefts? Well, cruising the cameras, we confirmed who we all thought the thief was. And guess who the culprit was? The evil kid had used the evil principal's login to access the locker combo sheet and was stealing things. He covered his tracks by deleting the camera footage. Not this time, though. Not this time. See, my dad had gotten a new laptop and gifted me his old one. This was, at the time, a $2,500 custom-made laptop. That thing was my main computer for years after this.
Alright. But I'm just gonna try and get it.
was set. He followed me, talking video games, inviting me to his place for some game sessions as I'm walking up to my locker. He turns around as per school rules not to see my combination, and I place my laptop bag into my locker as my next class is PE, and his was free study. Bait in the trap. He asks, "Aren't you afraid of getting it stolen?" I say, "Nah, my dad can always get another one from
Wait,
work.
so he's down
Plus
here?
that," and I point to the camera.
Yeah, those catch everything. Plus, I heard they caught the thief. Dad,
I say, "That's a relief. Get with me after school. I live close and we can walk home and game out." I leave the club for PE, but it's not my class. I had free study. I stealth my way into the math class and tell the teacher I'm updating the CPUs, and he loves me and allows me, and starts his class. I watch the cameras. 20 minutes later, the evil kid shows up with a garbage bag, pulls out a notebook, opens my locker, and grabs the laptop. He opens the bag to confirm it, pulls it out and places it in the garbage bag, grabs the mouse and the charger too, returns the laptop bag and leaves. He's wearing
No!
file. Wait another 20
Give up.
minutes.
I'm not gonna let them kill me. I'm gonna kill myself.
To see, and the file for that area is deleted. I hide the copy file in the server.
Jeez, he knew exactly where I was.
But I wanted a copy to which I still have to this day. Phase 1 complete. Phase 2. At lunch, I go to the locker and pretend to discover my empty bag. I was with a council member. She runs to grab the school cop and they come. As they are real cops, he radios for a squad car, and I kid you not, 5 cars showed up and they locked it down. They were about to launch a locker search but decided to check the cameras. This was done in the evil principal's office where evil kid happened to be playing games. Evil principal comes in and gives them access. Evil principal says for some reason the files are corrupt. It's a recent problem that we were fixing. Evil kid smirks. The cop says, "Alright, guide me to today's cameras and which one is in that area." Evil principal says, "I think cam 6. That was wrong, of course, and then the entitled kid said, "Now it's cam 9. You dense jerk. But the cop says, "Here it is. I found it in the files fine." The evil kid goes white. I wish I could tell you what happens next, but I was excused as they found their culprit. Then I see evil kid and evil principal walk out with 2 police escorts and I'm called back in. I get to see the footage. Cop 3 shows me that evil kid was the one who stole it. I act shocked. I'm good at acting too, sobbing slightly because he was my friend and how could he, etc., etc. 15 minutes later, he walks in and hands me the laptop.
I'm so sorry. Please don't press charges. I just wanted to play it. I was gonna put it back.
The cop says it's out of his hands as the value was more than $1,000. I'm afraid it's a felony. Charges will be filed. Turn around and put your hands behind your back. The entitled principal's face sunk. His boy was the school thief. He used his dad's login to get locker combinations and deleted the camera footage. They searched his house and found over $5,000 worth of stolen property in his room. He was in deep. But I wasn't done yet. Now it was evil principal's turn. This phase was not as long as I only had to do one thing. Ward hadn't reached school yet. Evil principal covered his son with a coat as he was let out, and I was told not to say a word to anyone. But the superintendent was going to question me on the incident. After a long questioning session, he brings up the proof. I said yes, I had it, and presented a copy of the letter Mrs. B wrote. He reads it, his jaw drops, and he quickly calls her. After a brief phone call, a meeting was set up. Evil principal, the superintendent Chalmer, Mrs. B, and my dad all came. We explained what happened, how I gave up my entire week to save the school's computers, how my father came in and did free work, how this could have been prevented if evil principal wasn't so cheap. But as with all great plans, you can't plan for everything. I expected a sacking, but I got much, much more. You see, it came to light how much the budget was and how much was really spent. So where was the rest? It turns out the evil principal stole it. He skimmed off the top of a lot of the budgets, but he hid this one as he thought he could as well. I don't know the details to that, but one, He used the excuse of the operating system keys. My dad piped up when he tried this. My dad said, I donated my personal corporate key and my super corporate key. It lets me install the operating system as many times as I want. It's how we didn't have to buy 250 keys. He explained to the superintendent and he was shocked. He showed the superintendent proof the key was his and pulled it up on the CPU to show how they were the same. The evil principal had no way out. I said, why didn't tech school get this letter? Evil principal in sob says,
I had to approve all the letters sent on the school's behalf. She no longer works here when it came time.
I said, nonsense. You had 2 weeks to send it. You just wanted to steal my scholarship for your thief of a kid. Every class on that floor heard me shout that. My dad and I left, and the superintendent and evil principal were going to talk. My dad said, if my son doesn't get the scholarship by tomorrow, then remove my keys from all the school computers. Needless to say, phase 3 was complete. There were 2 weeks of school left. The scholarship was mine. The whole story came out anyway. It turns out he skimmed all the money he saved, and we spent the next 2 weeks without evil principal in sight. To be honest, I never learned his fate, but I know evil kids. The attack. It was the second last day of school. Evil He decided to wait for me in the parking lot. As I'm walking out, I see him. He sees me and I think he wants to apologize. Nope. He just stares at me and walks away. I shrug and walk a block away. 2 football jocks were across the street. Then I feel it. A blow to the back of my head. The entitled kid just sucker punched me and had me on the ground. I flipped to my back, and back then, well, it's low, I know, but I fought dirty. As he on top of me, wanted to grab my planting knee right into his family jewels, smashing them. I went hard. He falls over and seethes in pain. I'm pissed though, but one of the jocks pulls me off, and I kid you not, the other says, "This is for my dead father's necklace," and stomps on his hand as hard as he could. He passes out and cops show up, the same ones as before, and now he gets the charges of assault and possession of a deadly weapon. He had a blade and was hauled off to ER. The fall caused me to twist an ankle and I was limping. After the dust clears, a few months go by and I find out he gets 10 years, and I regret nothing. Should have just not stolen credit for my work. Some of you will say that I went too far. I want you to know you are correct. Do not mess with me. So, am I the jerk for how I got my revenge? That part at the end where the jocks come up and get involved really reminds you of how much this guy has probably stolen. Yeah, it was about $5,000 worth of stuff, but how do you quantify the value of sentimental things like this guy's dead father's necklace? And the whole thing was only possible because his dad was a principal, so he had access to being able to cover his tracks. A normal person wouldn't be able to get away with this. And after all of that, the original poster thought that this guy would somehow come
Okay,
to him and apologize,
let's go then.
which is pretty naive considering how
It's
manipulated this guy was
9:30.
the entire time, even pretending to be his friend and saying, "Hey, let's
So
play
that's
games after we get out
not
of school."
good,
Yeah, right after he steals
because
your
that
laptop
means
from
that
the
it's
locker.
getting
And then on top of all
closer
that, the principal was embezzling money from the school, the place that usually
to
needs money the most. School was
a
generally
funny
underfunded, and this guy
token.
was just skimming off the top. And I wonder where his son learned how to act like that. If the principal was just casually embezzling money this entire time at the expense of the students of the school, you can only imagine what other types of things he does in front of his son, where his son would grow up to do something like this, try and pull off
That
an
means it's in the
elaborate,
area.
regular heist of getting a bunch of people's lockers and stealing whatever he could find and then covering his tracks by deleting the footage. This was a pretty intense revenge. It was very detailed and specific as to exactly what went down and how it went down. One of the things
Ah,
I'm
crap.
surprised by is how long the OP let it go after the award was given to the son instead of given to him. Most people wouldn't have had the restraint to divide this entire plan and wait, but the OP did that knowing that the alternative would be futile. There was no point in telling anybody about it because they would just keep asking for proof, and that's pretty much what happened when he did try. It's strange how a lot of times people in positions of power will end up being like this, or it's sort of this paradox because the only reason they're in that position is because of their tendency to be like this. For some people, there's obviously good eggs out there too. It's kind of the same thing as business where the most ruthless survive, and then who do you have at the top of the most ruthless people. As always, if you guys have a story of your own, you're more than welcome to submit it via the link down below. And don't forget to subscribe to the second channel where you can hear some of my personal stories, also linked down below. But let me know how you see this story. What would you have done if you're in this situation? Do you think this was going too far, or was it justified? Jerk or not a jerk? And when you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell to turn on notifications. To finish listening to all the stories in this series, use the playlist at the top of the description. And next time you live stream, use the cream of the crop music. Search for cream of the stream on Spotify or whatever music platform you use for copyright-free music to use for your stream. It's free. Cream
Dude.
of the stream. Either way, thanks a lot for listening.
I'm rich. I'm rich and I've got 4 kills. But I still suck.
Entitled Karen steals my Walmart pickup order, forcing me and my spouse to sit in the parking lot for minutes on end while the Walmart employees try and fix the problem. Eventually, this entitled Karen comes back to the parking lot and demands to speak to a manager, and things really started to
Okay,
pop off from there.
we
Here's what
have a
happened. So, since
buy
we
down
don't like
there.
shopping, we have been enjoying the online ordering option at Walmart. What's not to like? You pick what you like, you pay for it, they pick it, they bag it, and you just roll in and pick it up. Today, however, this doesn't go as smoothly as it has in the past few years, and we have used this service a lot. As I said, I put
I'm
in the
just
order
gonna,
and selected a pickup time.
you know,
My
try
wife
and
I roll
just
in and park in
grab
space
one of
number
my
4.
guns
Then
and
I
go.
inform
Grab.
them that I
It's like a
have
smash and
approved
grab.
vehicle in
Grab and
space
go.
4 with the
Oh, was that
application.
him?
Other cars are
Was that a
already
person?
there, and other cars roll in after we
Or
get
am I going
there. And
crazy?
my wife and I are just chatting along with the news of the day, as well as what the grandchildren have gotten up to lately. Finally, someone knocks on our door and asks what the name of the order is. I say my name, and the associate frowns and says, "I'll be right back." Thinking that this wasn't all that unusual, my wife and I go back to chatting as if nothing's wrong. About a minute later, a manager comes out to us and asks if we are sure of the order name. So after that, I pull out my phone and I show them the application. However, the app is showing us that the order was already picked up. It turns out that the silver SUV in space number 3 was approached by the Walmart staff, and they asked for my name and checked if they were picking up their order, and the entitled Karen just waved towards the back and said, "Go ahead and load it up, please." The Walmart staff apologized and said that they're going to repick the order as a priority, and they'd be out as soon as possible. 30 minutes later, a certain SUV pulls back up into the spot, and the
I'm not gonna
woman
make it.
steps into
I'm not gonna
Karen
make it.
mode and starts demanding a manager.
I think I can
The manager
self.
comes out, and they chat for quite a while. Being the nosy people that we are, we listen in, and you know what? She's upset. She's ticked off that they totally screwed up her order. But the manager says that they asked them what their name was, and they just waved to load the stuff into the car. So naturally, the Walmart worker just assumed that they were us. It was honestly just an honest mistake on the part of the Walmart staff, given the information that they had. This entitled Karen is now demanding that they give her back her correct order. There are, however, a few problems with this. First of all, since they didn't make their pickup slot, since they didn't pick up as themselves, the order was returned to stock. And to top it all off, the entitled Karen didn't even bring back the incorrect items. Arguments go back and forth for a little bit, and while this is going on, they bring out our hastily repicked groceries, as well as a $50 gift card as a way of apologizing. Thus, we were restocked, and we
I got
decided to
4
drive
kills
away,
so far
and we
though.
never found out what happened with the
So
entitled
it's not
Karen
bad,
against
not
this
bad, not bad.
Walmart manager. How crazy is that? You
Please
show up at the
do
assigned time so
not.
you can pick up your
I
groceries, only
repeat,
to have some weird
do
entitled
not
Karen
die. You are our
specifically
only
want
hope
to
right
meet you.
as of
I
right
absolutely
now.
know the type of person
2
who just
seconds,
roll
come on.
over and tell the Walmart employees
Okay,
just to load
you're
it
not our
up
only
without
hope
actually
anymore.
looking at it. Because unfortunately,
You're not our
especially
second
at
hope.
Walmart, you run into people like that all the time. And worst
Oh
of all,
no.
this lady didn't even bring back the food. Like, you can't even
Running.
expect to have any kind of refund if you
Uh-oh,
bring back
he's
the
done.
item that is incorrect. And on
Yeah, I
top
didn't
of
even
that,
need to
these
see
groceries.
that.
And with some of the food there that's
I
probably
just
easily spoiled, I would be very
knew that
surprised if they
man
would
was
even let
done
that be
for.
returned. Probably for some legal reason with Walmart. The last thing they want is for some customer to get sick over some food that was returned by a customer who didn't like it. So they probably would not have even taken those groceries back in the first place. But even then, at least put it in the car and bring it with you. Like, what are you thinking? So it sounds like the original poster got out with a better deal. They got their groceries and they got some entertainment. And they got a $50 gift card as an apology. Which, in my opinion, considering all that happened, that makes the wait as well as everything else that went down kind of worth it. This next one came from the Am I the Jerk podcast subreddit. Check the links in the description if you'd like to submit your own story. Am I the jerk for deciding not to stay in contact with my brother as well as the rest of his family, simply because he's been so toxic over the course of my life. Here's what happened. For some backstory, we had a typical brotherly relationship. Not super tight, but we would get along just fine,
He's
and knew we
alive.
always had each other's back. I moved to
Oh.
another state away from my family
Oh
home.
no.
I finished college, and I had managed to land a decent job in IT. I had also
There's
been
always
in
a
good
buy over
relationship
here,
with my wife for several years,
so I can
at the
land
point where I had found out
here.
something about my little brother. We will call him John. That's not his real name. John had been living on his own back in the state where we grew up for a couple of years, but hard times fell on
Armor
him, and he planned
box.
to move back into our parents' house. I pulled some strings for him and got him a guaranteed job at my workplace. He would just need to move out here where I live for the job. I did this because
Friendly
I felt like
UAV
my parents' house
online.
was very toxic, and I wanted to provide
Friendly
some kind of escape for
UAV
him.
online.
Eventually, he made the decision, and he moved out here for the job.
Go
and I
away.
had him stay with me and my wife. I only started charging rent when he had a stable income for a couple of months, but I arranged the rent in a way to encourage him to getting back out there on his own. The plan was that in 6 to 9 months, he would be in his own place, as my wife and I are relatively secluded people.
Ah, God, recoil sucks in water.
People. Now, my wife does have OCD and high anxiety, so there are some disagreements between my wife and John. But at some point, it seemed he was actively trying to sour my relationship with my wife. Thankfully, shortly after a rock-bottom fallout between my brother and my wife, as well as causing serious issues in the relationship with my wife, John moved out to rent an apartment with a work friend. He stayed there a while, then moved into another work friend's basement apartment. During that time, he managed to find a girl and convince her to marry him. John and his wife managed to buy a house together and started right away in growing a family.
ARMO. Woo!
John's wife believed that my wife and I should be a steady part of their children's lives. My wife and I didn't have children of our own. We didn't ever plan on having any, and still don't. So, when my wife and I would spend time with John's kid, we did tend to enjoy it quite a bit. We ended up forming a nice bond with the little guy. About 1.5 years into the kid being born, my mother had passed away, and she was set to leave the house and split between myself, John, and 2 other siblings. Now, one of these 2 other siblings,
there's no one nearby.
this one being my older brother, has had some mental breakdowns.
Stop shooting!
A mentally healthy lifestyle. I believed he wanted to keep the house and continue to live in it. Now, I didn't have a problem with him getting the house to himself, as I didn't really care about the inheritance. But I didn't want my older brother, we'll call him Steve, that's also not his real name, to continue to live in that house. I believed it would not be ideal for Steve to move on with his life after my mother's passing. Steve had been living with my mother in her house since he got out of the military, which was over 15 years ago. I knew the emotional trauma that went on in that house. My mother was manipulative. She was a self-serving woman who for the last 20 years just wanted to pass away. It was not a healthy environment at all. So when my mother did pass away, I explained that I wanted no part in keeping the house or converting it into a duplex of any kind. If my other brothers wanted to do that, then they could, but I didn't want any part of it. At this point, just assuming the equity in the house was being split between us 4 ways. Shortly after my mother passed away, Steve had another mental breakdown. This was pretty much what I didn't want to happen.
Don't die, come on, please. Yes!
At this point, I had let Steve know that if he just wanted to use the house as equity for him to buy another house, that was fine. But since my older brother Steve had intended to keep the house and keep living in it, Steve didn't like that. And he didn't like that I was pushing for it to be sold, with John eventually coming in and backing him up on this issue. This led to some arguments between us, with some yelling being done. I'm pretty sure they believed I was just after the money from the house, even though I told them I didn't care about the money, and I thought it would be best for Steve to move to a different house and start a new life that wasn't tied into all the trauma from that house. And this all happened while John was out in our home state with Steve. I had remained at my home state to work. We were arguing over the phone. Eventually, we ended up hanging out very angry with each other. After John finished up helping Steve get settled down, especially after his mental breakdown, he returned back to our home state. I invited John over so we could at least talk things over. When he came over, we argued some more, and I ended up just giving up on my intention of having Steve leave the house. I told John that Steve could do whatever he wanted with the house, and made sure that he understood I was staking no claim on that house. But in the conversation with John, I learned he had been talking garbage about me behind my back with my coworkers at my new job.
I'm also gonna start placing, well, not here. Definitely not here because this is not good.
Was working at a scarcely related IT company where he could use
got
his
some good
skills he
hits.
learned. Anyways, when he told
I
me
need
what he had
AR
been
ammo.
saying to
Oh
me,
no, 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 no. We gotta go, we gotta move, we gotta
claiming
move.
that
Gotta move.
he was worried about
Gotta
me, I
move.
knew at that moment he had been planting the seeds to try and manipulate me some more towards splitting up with my wife. So I
Oh
got angry with him,
no.
not only for
Benja.
talking to my coworkers about me
Benja,
behind my
I
back,
got
but
you.
also for still trying to ruin the
No.
relationship between myself and my wife. I started yelling at
I'm
him,
running, I'm
saying
running.
things like, how
I'm
dare
running,
you
I'm
meddle
running,
with
I'm
my
running.
work, as well as how could you do this? He eventually did not like the fact that I was yelling, and he stormed out, getting in any last digs he possibly could. He then unfriended me
Oh
on all
no!
social networks, blocking me
And
completely,
restart this
as
is
well as making
off.
everything else in his
No,
power
it's
to
game
stop
over.
communication, like not accepting phone
Yeah.
calls and stuff like that. At
As soon
this
as he
point, I
dies,
was
it's game
pretty
over.
attached to his kid, so I offered to John to talk to a therapist to try
No
and
way.
sort out these things.
He's still up?
It took about 5 months, but eventually, my two other brothers
I don't know if he's gonna
convinced
be up
John to
much
talk it
longer.
out in therapy.
Yeah,
In
he's
therapy,
done.
he pretty much said
Aw,
hated my
man.
wife, even though my wife put up with his
GG.
shenanigans while he lived with us. We even offered to
We
help with a
did
down
good.
payment for him to buy his own home while the getting was good. She helped him with his job hunt after he was
Well,
let
it's
go from the job I
9:42.
got him. He wouldn't
I
let go
think
that he just hated my wife.
we won't
He
have.
also let it out that
We'll
he
have
didn't
time
like
for
me,
like.
but he would be willing to let
I'm
us
gonna have to
visit
get
his
like 2
kid.
kills
Well, at that point, he hated
fast.
my wife and he didn't like me, and I did not want to subject myself or my wife to the mental games of someone who is just letting us have a relationship with his kid. So I gave up on the therapy, and I haven't talked to my brother, seen his kid or his new kid, or had anything to do with him for the past 4 years.
Because it's
Recently, John has invited me to spend
9:42.
dinner with him, my older brothers, his wife, and his kids, just to see if we can try and mend things up. The problem is, I don't trust John. He said in a voicemail to me that he wouldn't have cut me out of his life unless I did something to warrant it. But I
Please.
just don't
Oh
understand what
no.
I did to warrant this type of treatment in the first place. I don't want to emotionally invest in him or his family again, or just to get hurt again. So I don't really plan on accepting the invitation